G-Shocks. You know them and you love them, but sometimes you just can't afford one. So today I bring you some alternatives for a G-Shock. And obviously because they are G-Shock alternatives, so they are all from the brand Casio. For comparison, this is what the cheapest G-Shock is, the GLX S5602, which retails for 5295. But this is specifically for women. The overall cheapest G-Shock, or like a unisex G-Shock, retails for 6495, which is the DW5600 UE1. So the options that I will be talking about today range from 1000 to around 4000, because in my opinion, if you're a woman and you want a G-Shock or something close to a G-Shock, then you can just put 1000 more and get an actual G-Shock which has more features and of course more durability. Or for unisex G-Shock, you can just put 2000 more and get an actual G-Shock. So the range is 1000 to 4000. All of these alternatives that I'm covering are unisex. They don't have any classification on whether they're for men or for women, but they do have different dimensions. Starting with the cheapest one, the W218HC2AV. I think clearly from the look you can tell that this does look like a 5600, and that is obviously because of its square shape. As you can see from the display itself, this is an illuminator watch. Below that you can also see that this watch has 50 meters of water resistance, meaning that it is good for showering or swimming but not for diving or any other activities which involve high speeds of water. So this already sounds like a great deal because this watch retails for 1695. Getting an illuminator watch with that amount of water resistance is genuinely a good deal, but this watch does not have any other features. It has the basic watch features, meaning it has a stopwatch, a daily alarm, an hourly time signal, an auto calendar, and a 12/24 hour format. But it does not have any other features like world time or a moon phase display or anything else. This watch also has other color options. Here I was showing the blue version, but there is also a pink, off-white, and for a little bit more money, the metallic version. This one retails for 3895. Other than those monochrome colors, you can also get these variants which have a different strap color. If you did want a G-Shock but not in that square shape and maybe you were looking for a circular one, this might be a good option. The W219H1AV. This is pretty much the same watch as before, just in a different shape. It has all the same features, the same water resistance, the same backlight, but just a different shape. And also a different price. This one retails for 1795. So there is just a difference of 100 rupees between the two, and I think that is purely just because of the shape, because there is literally no difference between any of the features. You can also get other options in this watch, such as this one with the negative display or this in the blue color. These watches did not have any features, they just had very basic features, but a great plus point about them was the water resistance. This watch does have an added feature. This is the LWS 1200H 7A1V, and as you can see clearly, this is also an illuminator, but also it has lap memory 60. Lap memory 60 refers to the feature on this Casio watch, which basically means it has the ability to store up to 60 lap time records. So this is a great watch for runners, obviously. And just because of that added feature, it does have a little bit of a higher price. This watch retails for 2295. Other than that, it has 10 bars of water resistance. But it gets even better because this watch also has 3 alarms and a dual time zone. So you get a lot of features for the price, and it also does look like a G-Shock from afar. You also get other color options. You can get this one in black with a rose gold dial, or this one in white with a rose gold dial. G-Shocks are known for their heavy bulky look, and this option does have that very bulky look. So this is the WS1500H 3BV. It is packed with features. On its display itself, you can see that there are so many things going on. So let's get into it. Firstly, this watch is an illuminator. Secondly, you can see that it has a 10-year battery. Let's get to the very busy dial. You can see that there's fish written on the dial, and that is because this watch has a fishing mode. Basically, it tells you the suitability of a specific date and time for fishing, and it indicates that through one of the 4 levels. Below that, you can see moon, and that tells you the different moon phases. Other than that, you can also see that there is an analog display on the dial that tells you a dual time zone. This watch also has 3 alarms and obviously the other basic functions like a stopwatch, a timer, a calendar, etc. etc. So yes, this is a bulky watch, not only because of how it looks but also because of how many features it has. It retails for 2,995, but you do get other color options also. Here you get this negative display in these 2 color options, and you can get the positive display in these 2 color options. The WS1700H 8AV. So this watch does look very similar to the last one. One of the main differences is between the two that this watch does not have a fishing mode, but it has a tide graph, meaning it tells you the level of the tide on the specific date and time. Other than that, the moon phase is the same. This watch also has the same analog display for a dual time zone, and it is also an illuminator. It also has the same amount of water resistance, and it also has the same price. This also retails for 2,995. It also has other color options. So these are the 3 that you can get, all for the same price. Moving on, another watch for runners, the WS1400H 1AV, and you can clearly see that this also has lap memory 60. I think the only thing that kind of does not make it look like a G-Shock are the 2 buttons on the bottom, which are for lap reset and start and stop. But other than that, this watch is also very similar to the previous ones. It is an illuminator, it has a 10-year battery life, it has 10 bar water resistance, and the other basic functions that a watch has. It retails for 2,995. You can also get other color options like these. If you're a watch enthusiast, you must be familiar with the AE1200H, the Casio Royale, the Casio World Time. But because it is so iconic, you can recognize from afar that that is not a G-Shock and that is the Casio Royale. But if you did want the same features but with the look of a G-Shock, then this is the watch for you, the AE1400WH 1AV. And you can clearly see that both of these watches have a very similar display, but just because of its rounder shape, it looks more like a G-Shock. It can show the time of 4 different cities and has 31 time zones. It has 5 daily alarms, a timer, it is an illuminator, and it has 100 meter of water resistance. You can also get other color options. These 2 in resin, which retail for 3,295, and this in metal, which retails for 3,695. All of the displays that we have seen so far are very similar to each other. But if you do want a different looking display or somewhat of a unique display, then the MWD 110H 8AV might be the watch that you're looking for. This watch has a dual time zone. It has just 1 alarm. So compared to the ones that we have seen before, this is a very basic watch in terms of features. Like, it does not really have anything, but still it retails for 3,495. I genuinely do not know why the price is so high. Like, this is just a resin band. It's not even like it's metallic. Maybe just because it's a different type of display, the price is higher, but in terms of features, it's really not that much. This watch also has other color options like these. All of them retail for the same price of 3,495. If you've ever browsed for a G-Shock before, you'll see that Ana-Digi G-Shocks are so popular and they are the ones that catch your eye the most. So if you wanted one, then these alternatives are really good for you, because I genuinely thought that they were G-Shocks at first. So this is the HDC 700 3A2V, and it has world time, it has 29 time zones, a stopwatch, 3 daily alarms. Of course, it is an illuminator, and it also has a telememo function. It has the memory capacity of 30 sets of data with 8 character names and 16 digit telephone numbers. All of this with 10 bar water resistance for 3695. This is genuinely quite a steal. That many features. Also, the telememo feature, which is basically like a data bank function where you can store your telephone numbers. All of that for this price. You can also get other options if you do not like this negative display. But the one with the positive display retails for 3995. If you did like the previous watch, then you might also like this, the AEQ110W3AV, because they are very similar in functions. They have the same functions of telememo, world time, stopwatch, alarms, etc. etc. Just the display is a little bit different. If you thought there was a lack of color options in the previous one, then this watch also has more color options like these. All of these retail for 3995. And this is the last watch that I will be covering today. Obviously, there are more which might look like G-Shocks, but I said that the price range is between 1000 to 4000. If you are wondering, the one I have here on my wrist is the G-Shock 5600R. I hope you found your next watch in this video. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for more.